I'm reading this book by this Green Beret, Darrell Utt. It's called Grit to Glory. And in this book, he talks about how calm breeds calm. And there's a story in the book where he has to walk from his armored vehicle to the command post, and is full of enemy fire around him. And he's there to help out, I believe it's the 101st, to provide support for those guys who are kind of pinned down. And he knows that if he jumps out and runs to the command post, that everyone's going to panic. And so he's got a choice: either do that and get everyone freaked out, or he can get out of the armored vehicle and take a stroll, as he says, like he's walking to Gino's Pizzeria for a slice of pizza. Nothing going on, not a care in the world. So he gets out and he just walks in there, and there's gunshots going off all around him. Bullets getting close. But he makes it. And I'm thinking, calm breeds calm. Courage, he also talks about courage breeds courage. Of course, panic breeds panic. And enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. Motivation breeds motivation. Inspiration breeds inspiration, because I'll tell you what, I am pumped, motivated, excited, enthusiastic. I got the vim and the vigor and the robustness and the dynamism. I'm feeling absolutely spectacular. Look at that sun. As I'm saying it, the sun's coming out and shining that vitamin D down on me. Baruch Yahuwah. Bless the Most High. Praise be your name, Yahuwah, the Most High, who brings all things into existence. What a glorious day. What a beautiful day. What a great day to be alive. Man. I was talking yesterday about the reasons that I train with weights. The reason I do resistance training. The reason I dream. I'm dreaming about training. It feels so good. And one of those reasons, as I mentioned yesterday, it's a mood enhancer. It's a mood enhancer. It lifts you up. It rises you up. It brings your spirits higher and higher. Elevates you. You feel incredible coming out of a workout. I told you yesterday, I drop those kettlebells on the squat workout when I'm done with it right here in the field, and I just drop down here and I give you the message. So I'm electrified right now. Yahuwah, Yahusha, the Most High, Yahuwah, who manifested in the flesh as Hamashiach, the Messiah. Yahusha, Yah, the Most High, Shah, salvation. Yah delivers salvation. Yah redeems. Yah delivers. Yahusha. He says to those who worship with their lips and not with their hearts, he says, woe to you Pharisees, lying scribes, hypocrites. You wash and clean the outside of your cups and dishes, but inside the cups and dishes, they're filled with plunder and unrighteousness. You know, everyone's so concerned about how they look on the outside, what clothes they're wearing. We're all susceptible to this, right? We want to put forth a good presentation. But it's what's in the heart that counts. It's what in the spirit that counts. It's what in the soul that counts. Doesn't matter if you're wearing the finest, hand-tailored Savile Row suit, Brioni Italian cut suit. Doesn't matter if you're dressed in the finest, if you're driving the fastest supercar or the most luxurious sedan. It doesn't matter how big your house is. None of that stuff, it doesn't matter. Outward appearances are worthless. People want to put on a big show. You got to get right here. And if in here you're motivated, you're enthusiastic, you're excited, you're inspired, you're pumped up, that's what counts. But here's the thing, you're a force multiplier. Calm breeds calm, courage breeds courage, panic breeds panic. Enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. Who wants to be around a sour, as my mother used to say, a sourpuss? He's a sourpuss. Who wants to be around a sourpuss? Who wants to be around someone who's negative? Who's putting off dark energy, wayward vibes, frustrated frequencies? Who wants that in their life? Nobody. You start putting that out, your circle's going to get smaller and smaller, and all you're going to attract around you are the miserable and the frustrated and the kvetchers and the moaners and the complainers. Because that's all you'll be left with, because we know misery loves company. Like attracts like. Look at that sun. It keeps getting brighter and brighter. But you're a force multiplier for good. You're a force multiplier for positive energy. You're a force multiplier for a motivated and inspired mindset. And you owe that to your people. You owe it to your people to not see them dive down that dark hole, that quicksand, that muck and the mire that most people pile upon themselves until they're mentally dejected, psychologically frustrated, and their mood is down and dark and heavy and gloomy. Lift them spirits up. Help them, boost them up, because we're all capable of this. We're all capable of forget about the outside. Forget about the big show and the outward appearance. Where's your heart? Is your heart right? Is your soul right? Is your spirit right? And if it's not, you need to start tuning into a frequency that's filled with that glory and that love. And the greatest of all frequencies, the most powerful of all transmissions, the most glorious of all signals is broadcast 365, 24/7. Yahuwah, Yahusha, and his salvation, his redemption, his power, his majesty is running through the universe at light speed, always ready for you to turn the dial and tune in and receive it. You want to get lifted? You want to get elevated? You want to get transcendent? Tune into that message. And I'm telling you right now, you'll be set right. You'll be set on the path in asking for him to fill you with his love, his energy, his healing energy. You're going to get electrified. You're going to want to get out there and revere what he has given you. Honor what he has given you, this temple that houses the breath. The Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart spirit, the breath of Yahuwah that lives in here. Imagine when you're baptized with the Ruach, the breath of Yahuwah, and fire, the fire that purifies your heart and sets it true, righteous, and sanctified. Imagine when he enters and absolutely dissolves, obliterates, and with that fire cleanses all the darkness that was in your soul. And now you feel that joy, his healing love. And his breath lives within this temple now. And all of a sudden you feel that, you want to honor what he has given you, what he has blessed you with. A day in the sun, in this beautiful blue sky. I came out here this morning, it was cloudy. It was overcast. It had that dull, gloomy look to it. I'm coming out here burning with that fire, burning with that energy, burning with that love, burning with that joy, ready to take on the world. Because he's living in here. It's living in here. It's about again, you Pharisees, you lying scribes, you hypocrites. You put on the big show, you live in the beautiful house, you drive the fancy car, you have the best clothes, but inside you're rotten. Inside you're a sourpuss. Inside you're negative. Your energy is horrible. Because you have a hatred and a jealousy and an envy, and you're clawing and you're scratching and cannibalizing your fellow man just to get a little bit more. But what we're tapping into here, It's free of charge. What we're tapping into here, there is no cost. What we're tapping into here, it doesn't eat you alive and tear you down and leave you bereft and hopeless and frustrated and anxious and depressed. What we're tapping into here is available to all. 24/7, 365, available to all to tap into Yahuwah, Yahusha's energy and his love and his healing. You come to him and you ask him to fill your heart. Man, he heals you. Man, he gives you blessings. Man, he said the bounty that's bestowed upon your life. What you receive is more than you could have ever imagined, more than you could ever hope for, more than you could ever want, such that your cup runneth over. And you have to share it. Like I'm out here right now sharing the good news because I have so much of it. My heart is overflowing with it. And we're force multipliers. So I want to speak from the heart, want to tell you what's true, want to tell you what's real, want to tell you that this illusion is nothing. That he gives us the real, a peek behind the curtains, the zeros and ones, and a glimpse of the narrow gates that lead to the kingdom to come, where there is no more evil whisperers, evil doers, corrupters, misleaders, deceivers, psychic vampires, negative influencers. There's no more decadence, defilement, debasement, depravity, no more Hashatan, Satan, Lucifer, demons of this world. They're all wiped away. All the murder and death, all the illness and disease, all the pain and suffering, all the war and misery, it's gone, crushed beneath his feet, and where he lives amongst us once again. And where we can love him, honor him, glorify him, worship and praise him with all our hearts, souls, minds, and strength in a manner that pleases him most, because we are perfect once again, as we were when we were made perfect in his image, and we were given paradise, given Eden, until we were misled by the serpent, by the dragon. And in our long journey back, Yahuwah, who loves us beyond all comprehension, can you imagine how much we reject him, how much we turn away from his commandments, how much we despise him, such that we create false idols, we create our own gods, we construct craven images, and we degrade him. No matter how, and he gives us chance after chance after chance, covenant after covenant after covenant he makes with us. And still we turn away from him. And yet still he loves us so much, so incomprehensibly, so everlasting, that he manifests in the flesh to live amongst us, to know our pain, to know our suffering, to judge if we're worthy, and in doing so, to give his life and to be tortured as a man would, to feel the pain and suffering as a man would, and to die on that cross, tormented, so that we would be saved, so that we would have a second chance, so that we could finally have peace and redemption. He became the ultimate sacrifice, the sacrifice to end all sacrifices. And that he would go through such torment for his love for us so great, no matter our hatred, no matter our jealousy, no matter our envy, no matter our evil and our sins. He knew there was good in us. And he loved us so that he was willing to drink from the cup that no one else could drink from, to be immersed in a way that no one else could be immersed, and to suffer the way no one else could suffer, but to do it as a man, feeling every lash, every whip, every humiliation, every degradation, every beating, every nail. He felt all of it. The walk to Golgotha, the place of the skull, with suffering, his body brutalized savagely, and still suffering on that walk, only to be nailed and tormented further and die a horrible death. As a penance for us to pay a debt we could never pay, because the price had become too expensive for all the times we turned our back on Yahuwah, the Most High. But he was willing to pay the price for us. And for that, at no cost, at no pain, at no suffering, do we get the promise. We're shown the way. We're saved. Our hearts are finally healed. The path to the narrow path that leads to the narrow gates that lead to the kingdom to come is now illuminated. We know what to do. We know how to do it. We know how to walk it. The breath of Yahuwah lives within us, compels us to stay on the true and narrow path, steadfast and strong, such that we wear the armor in all faith to Yahuwah, such that we are no longer susceptible to the slings and the arrows and the daggers of the evil ones of this world. We wield the Ruach, the breath of Yahuwah, like a sword that demolishes and dissolves all evil, all darkness, all wayward frequencies in our path as we walk, as we march like a juggernaut to the kingdom to come. And so we're filled with something that has no cost to us, but cost Yahuwah, Yahusha, everything. And so I feel that pain. I've gone through that catharsis. I've felt the lump in my throat. I've felt the pit in my stomach. I've felt the tears. I felt the emotion. My heart broke for Yahuwah, Yahusha. And I say that it's my greatest obligation for what he did for us to free us of this burden, to free us from this illusion, to free us from the darkness, to free us from our pain and our suffering. It is my greatest obligation, but my greatest honor. It is my greatest responsibility, but my greatest joy to share the good news of what he did for me and what he will do for you. Tapping into this transmission, tapping into this signal. You are filled with the Ruach, the breath. And you could be a force multiplier for your people, inspiring them, motivating them, exciting them, lifting their mood, lifting their spirits, taking them to a place where they can experience that love and that healing and that peace and that joy, and they can be as electrified as we are today. Nothing like it. There is no drug, there is no drink, there's no substance that can get you to this place. Only the Word. The Word gets you there. The way, the truth, and the life sets you free and opens up all of this glory, all of this power, all of this majesty, all of this inspiration, all of this motivation, all of this enthusiasm, all of this excitement, all of this passion. And imagine just a little workout like I just did. Flips that switch, gets me in touch, receive the signal, get into the zone, get into flow state. Time to get motivated, time to get inspired, time to feel his energy. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's march stronger, taller, steadfast, unstoppable, undefeatable, unassailable, undeniable. As we move with speed, stronger than ever, motivated and inspired, like a freight train to the kingdom to come. And while we're here, man, we're pumped up.